Alright, here we are in the backyard. I'm going to post this video on YouTube, and if anybody would like to correct me or add some tidbits to help my garden or space come along, it would be gratefully helpful. So first here we have jasmine that was bushed, but I'm using it as rope and it smells really good. So you're going to walk outside and you're going to have an immediate burst of scent and smell and color. It is October. We have watermelon growing, and there are some new fruits. Now whether or not we'll make it to where we want, we'll find out. We've got peppers integrated in with broccoli. Here we have Malabar spinach climbing up our cosmos. We also have Thai basil, eggplant. Here, right next to the house, we have a lot of our tomatoes. We have the cherry, and we have the sugar cherry and the grape. And there's a lot of beans and Malabar spinach intertwined. Planted a lot of nitrogen fixers. Some soil repair, some sorghum growing, getting really tall. You notice we have a lot of bees and butterflies pollinating these cosmos, and there used to not be any bees because it was just an open space. On this side we have I throw a lot of the compost if the bucket's not ready, especially our eggs, and then I just, instant source of calcium. I throw this through the garden. Calcium's a trace element you want. We have a lot of clover, and that's starting to spread. So the water that falls off the groin right over there runs down this channel and also runs along the other channel, and it feeds into this spot right here for the bananas. My plan is for the bananas will spread and propagate in the very moist areas on their own. So if you look, we got a lot of late season okra. A lot of people don't plant a second round of okra. We've let some go to seed, and so last year a lot of my okra pods got damaged by mold. So I'm going to have to be real careful this year to really make sure I dry out the pods. So we still have a lot of beans and stuff right here. Harvest those. Those are nitrogen fixers. I'm going to clean out a lot of these beds, and you see we got tomatoes growing all along the ground. So this burgundy okra is one of the best. It stays soft for long periods of time, unlike that Clemson spineless. Now these cosmos propagate a lot on their own. They produce tons of seed. If you look down here, I got cosmos everywhere, and they'll produce into the fall a good amount, and just excellent for pollinators. So there's seed harvesting. Here we have an amaranth. So the sorghum is a good sugar source. I don't have a press yet, but I'm mainly collecting the seeds. Great cover crop. Beans love to crawl up them. Produces a lot of height in the garden. So here we have some eggplant. There's a pepper up in there too. So a lot of times the plants will hide stuff from us as I'm walking through the garden, which is smart. You don't want to give all your fruit away. So here's an example of sorghum climbing with the beans. This is what we want. This is multi-layer. So there's a lot of swales in here and passive water collection. Now this herb spiral produced a lot of tomatoes. It's still producing tomatoes. Some are dying, some are being crowded out by the bigger plants. Now this, I believe, is a vining hollyhock. I didn't expect it to be so big. I wouldn't have planted it in the herb spiral. Now this is also a dye. If you look, we've got Malabar spinach growing everywhere. The Malabar spinach is great. I mean, we got more than enough. Sauteed spinach is an excellent dish. It's a delicacy, in some cases at restaurants, high-end restaurants. So I've found some bunch of ferns that people were throwing out, which really help cool the area, grow great in shade. Here, this jasmine, that headman bush, is climbing up on this popcorn tree, and it's going to be really beautiful. A lot of this stuff I just let grow wild. These are tomatoes climbing up okra. That's synergistic. A lot of the milkweeds growing on its own. I got some aloe that was given to me next door that I'm propagating, and it's doing well and it's catching root. And I threw some seeds in this bed, and I didn't water it. I'm just going to let it the rains water it. Here I have a vermiculture set up, a bunch of worms, composting underneath, and I just put a bag of soil on a bunch of compost because that's a lot of soil to be buying for that amount of volume. So this area has, I'm just letting go. It had stuff in it. I'm going to clean out the beds, but a lot of the outside I'm just going to let it go. And this is building soil, this is holding moisture, this is speeding up the soil succession. So here we have some Thai basil, just more random tomatoes. I'm going to come around and protect those. So here we have cotton growing next to the zinnias, which I believe also produce a dye. So here we have a cucumber that we've just let go. I'm going to collect this seed, let it get real big. So this bed needs to be cleaned out too. So a lot of things, since I'm in such a small area and I don't have my own property, nor do I have permission on the property to do as I please, nor the funds, a lot of seed savings going on. Seed saving is really important. Of course, this is where you save the most money over time, is collecting your own seed. Those packets can get expensive. Ideally, our labor wants to be primarily just harvesting in the future. Here we have a nectarine, loquats. Now these are on a swale system. We have a lemon, doing good too. Trees are the most expensive. So you want to make sure you really have your soil building in place. Now this pool is cracked. This is more of a water table and it holds. Ideally it'd be great for fish, but we keep having mosquito poison put in it. But if we have fish, we won't have mosquitoes. Again, I'm not in control of this land that I'm standing on. So another successful strategy is just to strike, or knowing when to strike, when to do nothing, as they say. So here I have some mint. A lot of the grass overtook it. A great place for a tree. A lot of morning glories climbing. But if you see, there is a crack in the concrete, so a lot of the moisture or the trees is coming towards here. So I threw a hugelkultur on here. Some of the things did okay, almost no attention. Now the oleander is supposedly toxic to all soils. Now it's a great Buddha tree, but if it is toxic, we want to get rid of it. Some more cotton, zinnias. If you look, there's a lot of evidence in the landscape of inflation. Crepe myrtles are everywhere. Ornamental pears. This is a huge anti-pattern. Here's some compost being developed. And then a lot of this just go wild. Saving our time and energy by not cutting the grass. Plan on having this area as this pathway is annual, so you'll be able to access annuals, but I'm going to need more straw and more soil, so that takes more time. Seed saving huge, and of course small gray water system over there. This oak tree will shade the house, which will lower our energy bill. There's some broccoli still growing in the heat. Hopefully it'll reform. Hugelkultur mounds, just mounds of compost, adding topographical relief. I also have these stools. Now they're home for worms and termites and things of that nature, so I got little insect homes. So we have decomposition going on. Over here, some more mounds of compost, a pomegranate, a fig. My video is getting to the end, so I'm going to have to wrap up here soon. But we've had a lot of rains in the summer, but now it looks like we're getting into the dry season, October, November. So we don't want to chop and drop to the beginning of spring. So we're going to let all this grow. And then we're going to use this material that's growing for the hugelkulturs in the beds themselves. So we're reducing our importation of soils. Here we have some blackberries growing. Just took a couple wild ones and then they're propagating on their own. Pineapple sage. Delicious flowers. Here's a shaded area, northwest corner, where a lot of cold water starts. And the cocos palm. The squirrels love that. I love the fruits as well. Our sago not doing so well in this flooded area. Now a little river runs through here, but you can't see it. These irises. A lot of hummingbirds are attracted to these. And of course, St. Francis. And just, walking through the landscape, random tomatoes. You get a lot more volunteers when you just stop cutting the grass. All these okra I'm going to seed. Getting more cotton. Getting ready for our winter planting. But really it's key. It's these trees here, loquats, citrus, nectarine. I can't wait to eat them. Banana. So we're covering the extremes. I got an avocado up front that needs to be planted. Some more aloe. Aloe is a really good stool softener, so if you're lifting too many heavy weights and getting hemorrhoids, aloe helps. Doesn't taste too good at first, but man, it does feel good. Some beans. Alright, I'm about to run out of video. And bamboo. Oh, we got some. Bamboo finally setting roots, so that's huge. Alright, signing out.